Hi, Lori.
Hello.
Why HERstory and why now?
I think we need to hear about some of the forgotten stories from our past.
I am going to be taking a HERstory walking tour in downtown Stratford, Ontario today. And we are going to be learning about some major women that helped shape Stratford. And I brought some special guests today, so we're going to ask them some questions before we start the tour. So Vivian, I'm going to ask you first.
Okay.
What do you think we're going to learn today?
I think we're going to learn about the women, how they worked, and yeah.
So Vivian, who do you think are some prominent women? What kind of jobs did they do, or what do you think they did? A spot in history.
I think women earned a spot in history because they were being themselves and they stood up.
That's good. Okay, let's ask Ruby.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Ruby, what do you think? What kind of jobs do you think the women did that would bring them a part of the history?
I feel like they. Can I have a minute to think,
Yes.
please?
Take your time.
Okay. I think they really stood up and and spoke against things to bring more things to the light and just help shape Stratford and stuff.
Yes, that's a good answer. And do you have your walking shoes on? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. What area in Stratford do you think we'll go to today?
Probably by the river or something like that. I'm not sure though.
But we're both open-minded about what's happening today, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Very.
fun.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
So you might be wondering why we're sitting in Stratford Thai. We're actually getting boba for the road because we need substance before we, have a 2-hour walking tour. Rose, Elsie, Betty, Grace, Jenny. Female names forgotten in Stratford's history. Until now. We are on our way to Hartman's Coffee and Tea to join the HERstory tour. That oven to your left?
Yeah.
Wow. So you have to prioritize your.
Yeah, and the good thing is that as the day progresses, because we just bake in small batches.
Yeah.
If you're coming in at 2 or 3 o'clock, that's fresh because
Wow.
we just have to keep baking throughout the
Yeah.
day.
Did you hear that? Everything is baked fresh throughout the day. This is intentional and practical due to the size of the oven. Sounds like a win-win. It's almost 2 p.m., so I had my last coffee of the day, a long espresso. We're at Hartman, and this is where the tour is going to start. So I was already signed up for the tour when the guide reached out and offered for me to come for a complimentary pass. So this is officially my first perk of having social media presence, which is very monumental for me and exciting. Hi, Lori.
Hello.
Why HERstory and why now?
I think we need to hear about some of the forgotten stories from our past. The past is often told through the lens of maybe men involved in business and politics, but it's time that the forgotten stories and the impact that they had on the city, created by women, are shared.
Well, we're all really excited to be here. Thank you.
All right, thank you for coming. The first licensed female doctor to practice in the city of Stratford. I'm going to talk about Jenny Trout, another famous physician. She has an important role, but Dr. Macklin's story is one of the ones that sometimes doesn't get heard about as much.
Lori at Stratford Walking Tours went digging and has spent a lot of time pulling these stories from Stratford Perth Archives to make this tour happen.
That it was inappropriate for a woman to be learning medicine, and made their education very, very challenging. So much so that Jenny Trout quit school and she transferred to Pennsylvania and did her training in.
Their names may be missing from the original plaques, but Lori is bringing their story back, one story at a time. The tour covers downtown Stratford, 1 hour, casually on foot.
Betty McMillan was her name. She started out as a counselor from 1969.
Walking these streets, you start to feel the weight of what was lost. Their stories were simply never recorded the same way as their male counterparts.
These women were employed here as maids and in the kitchen as well. The hotel used to be a lot bigger than it was. It was built in 1881.
Every stop on this tour is a name that almost disappeared. A story that almost went untold.
On the last column, about 1/3 of the way up, is the name Elsie Ross.
Lori at Stratford Walking Tours has many tours available that highlight Stratford and St. Mary's, a neighboring town.
Guys, my mom's asking a question right now. I don't know what it is. I can't hear it.
I want to continue to capture and create good content for you and deliver it honestly. Follow for more to keep me motivated. I am going to leave you with what the next generation of women took from this tour. We are at the end of the tour. It was amazing, a nice hour-long tour. Now I'm going to ask the girls, which woman in history stood out the most to you and why?
So the woman that stood out most for me was probably Elsie Ross. Did I say that right?
Yep.
Elsie Ross, because she was the only woman who got on that plaque. Because out of all those men, and they got a full funeral from when she died. The whole of the war efforts. Yeah.
Great. What about you, Ruby?
Okay. So my favorite one that I learned about was the lady, I forget her name, but she wrote a letter to the owner of the Windsor Hotel to talk about the unfair wages and how the women were being paid like maybe $4 a month, and the men were being paid like $14 a month. And I thought it was very cool that we had a record of her and had like the letter she originally wrote. So yeah.
Thank you.
So my favorite story through the HERstory tour was about Rose McQueen and how her and her partner Grace ended up living together across from the YMCA, which is now Nancy Campbell. A little bit about Rose McQueen was that she helped Tom Patterson and was monumental with starting the festival. So that was news to me, and it was great, and I had a lovely day.